Okay, so I have a C1 to my Mavuika, which will be a part of a video that may come out maybe in a year. I don't know. But Mavuika is C1. I am just going to record this because I am legitimately, I think I'm going to need a couple days to record it. I spent 3 hours recording. I only got to C1, and C1 has been giving me a lot of trouble on the Melt team specifically. So let's go ahead. We have to teleport out of here to get into the domain. I do have a team that I'll show after this that, you know, I'll put in a clip, because originally I was going to do a special team where it was going to be C0 versus C1, but I will put in a special clip of a C0 team that, you know, uses Kachina to support itself, and then I'll have the C1 version also on top of that. And we'll test that, and we can see the damage difference. Now, I only did show the burst because I thought it was going to be part of a larger video, but I think I'll just include it into this video, so that way we can sort of keep the more meta stuff. And realistically, if you're summoning for C1 Mavuika, you should have gotten Shilonen or Seatlali, because both of those characters are just really, really strong. So, with all that further ado, I'm sure you guys have seen my testing with, you know, Mavuika before. Let's go ahead and let's test this out. Alright, this could even, if this turn goes well enough, it could end up being a part of, you know, the next video, but it doesn't go well enough. Yeah, but you saw 1.5 million, very nice. That's basically a lot of what's been happening. It's bad, I'm gonna be honest. Like, legitimately, it has taken me a long time to be able to get to that point, and, you know, I don't want to do it anymore. I was complaining about testing Arlecchino. Testing Arlecchino isn't that bad, you know, when I'm just showing off Arlecchino. I'm just showing off Mavuika, and I'm still having issues. This character is really awful to test with, and that's as simple as that. That's the easiest way I can say that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to try and do at least a full rotation. I don't know, you know, whether I'm not going to be able to do it or not. Let's see. You know, a lot of the crit issues also is what's been surfacing. So, yeah, that, then that, then that, then we'll have that, then we'll have this, then we'll die again. Why am I dying again? I don't know, because I'm using Bennett's skill before his burst. One day the capybara will take pity on me and just, you know, do what I want him to do. I don't get why this is happening to me, but, you know, it's happening to me, and I can't do anything about it because, you know, capybara doesn't care. I will say, though, dying, it's a little different than the normal pace of things. I'm gonna be honest. It's a little different, right? And the worst part is, every single time I die, like, Arlecchino doesn't die as much because you can dodge easily with her. And also, you need to dodge. So, when I dodge, you know, against the capybara with Arlecchino, it's basically like I'm just playing the normal game. Whereas if I dodge the capybara with Mavuika, not a lot of characters or enemies are going to be one-shotting Mavuika, so it's not really like that dodge would have been necessary in any other point in the game. So it's a little unfair if I were to actually start dodging with that. It's just, it's hard to do, man. Let's try. Come on. We've been having a decent time. Yep. Okay, there we go. There, but we didn't melt because that sucks. Yeah, it's stuff like that, man. It is stuff like that that makes me wonder, like, why didn't we melt? Why didn't we melt there? Why? I don't know. It's the same rotation that everybody else uses. It's literally just the same rotation that everyone else uses. I don't get why we didn't melt there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, you guys saw that rotation. Yeah, good damage numbers. 1.5 million is good, though. It is. It is 100,000 extra damage, along with, you know, the actual other hits and stuff. It's good. It is good. Like, it's a decent buff. I was actually underrating it when I initially got it, if I'm being honest. Like, when I initially was like, oh yeah, C1, whatever. It's a good buff. It is. It is a, you know, 10% average buff, I think. It's not really that crazy, but I mean, it does add a lot, especially since I have her weapon, and that's giving her 1,100 base attack, basically, which is 440, you know, attack buff from having the C1 active, right? So yeah, that's that. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to test out the new team, but you guys are going to see the C0 version of that first, and yeah, have fun. So I decided I would make a team exclusive to C0 and C1, and this is this 4-star team sort of with Kachina. I think this is her best free-to-play team, because if you're a free-to-play player, you should have Fiorina. Like, that is like one of the #1 characters I can recommend people who don't summon a lot on this game to do, because she is such a good character for a lot of characters. I just have to recommend you do get Fiorina because she is that good. Now, let's go ahead and let's test out this team. Now, we're going to go ahead and have this, and then we're going to do this, all that. Then we're going to recover our energy there. Then we're going to have this. Fiorina is being used this late because of the way that she interacts with Bennett. All right, let's go. 440. All right, listen, that's all we're going to see. I don't want to test this team that much. I don't want to take up your time by testing this team up this much. So just seeing the initial slash, I think that's good enough for us, right? So we saw 449,000. So then we can go ahead and we can test out how it functions with C1. So the entire gimmick here is just to do this, hop twice, pop your burst to, you know, C2, whatever. And then we'll do this. And all right, let's see the damage difference. 490? Is that? No, that's not lower. I'm looking at the damage. Yeah, no. See, there is a damage difference. There is. However, it ain't a lot. Like, maybe if I did one extra hop. Like, the thing is, it's a weird, like, curve. The more Night Soul you gain, the bigger difference you'll see. Like, if you were gaining, let's say, 70 Night Soul, you would easily be able to get a decent buff out of Kachina, right? You gain 70 Night Soul, that would be where you were. However, Kachina isn't really, like, giving you that much Night Soul, because what happens is she, you know, gives her your Night Soul, where is it? Night Soul point limit 60. And you use up some points, and then it slowly uses it over time. And my testing, the way that I was planning on this looking, was a lot, like, there would be a bigger difference. So it seems like you would want to do a couple more hops at the beginning with Kachina, because, I mean, what you will see, okay, what you will see, though, is that during the second rotation, it will matter. But I didn't show a second rotation. But during the second rotation, where you have, you know, Kachina there, and she's, you know, draining her Night Soul points, it should be very much so a lot better. And in theory, you would have 200 point limit already, just because you started Abyss with 200 points, right? So let's say we're starting Abyss. We start off with 200 Fighting Spirit. And then, you know, we use Kachina and we jump 1, 1, 2. Then we do this, and then we do this, and we start doing our rotation here. And then we'll go on and we will do this. So here's that. 600,000. All right. Would have loved to live, but using Mavuika's Q, we're going to wait for the little halo ring to disappear, right? Everyone, yep, disappeared. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use Turbo Whirly. We're going to do this. We're just going to drain all of the Night Soul. Like, we're going to act like, all right, 1, 2, yep. 1, 2, yep. We're just draining. And we can see that after that, all right, so now let's leave. Phlogiston consumption does not give you Fighting Spirit. And that basically got us to half. So, like, it got you to half. I mean, there's no other way for me to show it, really. I can't, like, actually show it. There's not really much of a difference. I mean, I've shown you guys. It seems to be, like, sort of a second rotation thing. And I guess I'll do this, and we will recover Kachina's energy. So the only way to test a second rotation is to survive till a second rotation. So we're going to have to go ahead, and we're going to have to survive here. So let's hope we can do that. So then we'll do my standard 2 hops, Q, then we'll do this, then we'll do this, and then we'll have Fiorina go ahead and do this. Now, one thing I will say is that, you know, she can interrupt the vaporizes. All right, let's not die. All right, don't die. All right, yeah, look at this. We're not dying. Great. And boom. All right. And you can see, I mean, I just did a sprint there. And then, yeah, you just switch to Bennett. All right, assuming we have that, we're already at 200 Fighting Spirit. There we go. All right, that's all I needed to show. Because I sprinted there, but I mean, if you have C1 Mavuika, that's going to be useful. You can just sprint out of that and then redo your E-skill and stuff. It'll work, right? I think C1, yeah, it works. I can't really give you a definitive, oh yeah, this is what happened, because I didn't expect Kachina to do that poor in terms of recovering Fighting Spirit, I'm going to be honest. I thought it would legitimately be a case of like, oh, get C1, and then it'll just start recovering you up to 200, and you'll be able to clearly see the damage difference. Not the case. And it seems like, because it's the issue of Kachina, it gets rid of a lot of her Night Soul as the turn is progressing. So or as the rotation is progressing. So you don't really get to, like, have her entire Night Soul depleted, right? A character like Shilonen immediately, bam, depleted, right? That's a part of the reason why Shilonen's so good. Whereas Kachina, it's more like a second rotation. But, I mean, while I say it's more of like a second rotation, that is actually not bad at all, because it is genuinely like you get 200 Fighting Spirit at the beginning of Abyss, right? So it's not like, you know, oh, Kachina, no, why? How could you do this, right? Kachina will still work. Also, by the way, how long is she going to last in this state? She should not be in her Night Soul Blessing state that long, I'm pretty sure. I don't get why she's lasting so long in the state. But, you know, it's just like, this works. This works. You could get 200 Fighting Spirit with Kachina now. And I think that is probably accurate, I would say, considering, you know, literally all I did was press sprint once after I finished the combo. And that's it. That's all I did. You do get extra Fighting Spirit. I wonder, does it reflect in her E-skill or no? Does it? Where's the Fighting Spirit limit? Does it say where her Fighting Spirit limit is? Or not Fighting Spirit, Night Soul limit. I don't think it says. Oh, no, Night Soul point limit. There it is. But it does increase to 120 over here. So, yeah, you will get the benefit of having this. I'm going to be honest. You will have the benefit of having the 120 Night Soul plus, you know, Kachina. You will be able to max out Fighting Spirit. And as you saw, 600,000 is the damage that you're looking at. Whereas before, not so much, I would say. Maybe you definitely have to give some points to the previous rotation because, like I said, I was expecting to go into 0 Fighting Spirit and then immediately max out, but that's clearly not the case. I don't use Kachina that often with my Mavuika just because I have the premium options. It's not a bad constellation, but it certainly isn't a constellation that's like, oh, wow, C1. Like, if you look at Arlecchino's constellation, it's like, wow, that's a damage increase. Look at Mavuika's, it's like, wow, that's a damage increase, but it's because she hits hard already, so this 40% attack looks a little stronger than it actually is. But then again, I haven't looked at the numbers myself. I could easily be wrong, and it could be a really nice increase for everything, but I need to actually look at the numbers and, you know, have a successful C1 R1 run, but, you know, that's not happened yet. So, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you did enjoy. If you really enjoyed, become a member. I'm going to be making a blooper reel of all the fails that I have for the Mavuika showcase. It's going to be like 2 hours long. This is part of the reason why it's not getting uploaded publicly, because, I mean, I don't think anybody wants to watch a 2-hour blooper reel unless you're paying for it. So, yeah, feel free to, you know, become a member, and you'll be able to see a 2-hour blooper reel, probably 2 hours. I don't want to say. I have not even finished recording the thing yet, so I don't know if it's going to be 2 hours. Why does that gem look so realistic comparatively to her? Still, although she is still in this state, I don't get it, but whatever. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Goodbye.